what is the role of technology within a financial advisory firm, right? I'd love to learn more about how, you alluded to it a little bit, how y'all are using tech, but then take a step out. And as you see these RIAs, how can they be better users of technology, and what is the role that it plays in their firm?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I have a lot of thoughts here, but we have limited time. I think that I think that talking about tech in a vacuum is a mistake, right? Tech should enable a great client experience by bringing the advisor closer to the client, right? Tech should enable that human relationship, not replace it. And so I think that that's just a core philosophy that a lot of advisors need to embrace. That they're there and the client is paying the money because of who they are, not because of their ability to choose one tech platform over another. So that's point number one. I think point number two is you have to design your planning process before you can plug the technology into it. So some of the big mistakes that we see when we're talking to advisors who have gone out and bought 10 different pieces of software that they think are going to optimize and make their practices better is that they haven't sat down and said, okay, how do these all fit together for my unique client experience? And this is where I think actually wealth tech is doing advisors a bit of a disservice, because I think there are a lot of companies out there. There's a saying in Silicon Valley that that's a feature masquerading as a product that's masquerading as a company. And I think that there are a lot of companies out there that sort of fall into that category. If you think about the median advisor has 46 million in AUM. So we'll be generous and say that that's a $500,000 revenue business. That puts them probably in the bottom quartile of small business in America. We should not expect them to be tech experts, right? Nor should we expect them to have the sophistication to integrate all of those platforms together in a way that matches what they do perfectly. So I actually see a lot of this is going a little bit on a tangent here, but I see a lot of consolidation coming in the wealth tech space. And actually, an interesting note on that is venture funding in wealth tech is down about 50% in 2019 from where it was in 2018. If you look at investment in general into the space, it's actually decreasing, while at the same time, venture deals and venture volume is at like an all-time high right now. Anyway, sorry, I just took us down a little bit.
No, that's good. What from your perspective? Because I mean, you spent some time in the venture world. Why?
Yeah.
Is it because of that saying that you're saying from Silicon Valley? What is that rationale that you're seeing of why it's down 50% in wealth tech versus VC funding is just on a rise right now in other industries?
So my hunch on this is that distribution is really hard for a lot of these companies. I think if you look at the massive companies that sell into the independent advisor space, you basically have the custodians, which have like all the pipes laid, and they're also utility, right? So it's like you have to have a custodian, and so that's kind of a no-brainer. InvestNet has done a really nice job, and Orion's done a really nice job, but they spend tons of money on sales and marketing, and so I think I think if you look at some of these other companies, the tech is good. But the challenge is, getting in front of advisors, basically making the sale to a small business, which is probably the hardest sale you can possibly make as a venture-backed company, because the buying behavior is like that of an enterprise, but the ticket size is like that of an individual. So that's challenging, and then also the integration piece, right? So so not being integrated with other platforms. And basically like, hey, I'm a piece of a puzzle, but you need to figure out the rest of the puzzle. That's a hard. I think that's a hard sell for a lot of these folks. So it just is again, this is not validated, but just sort of as I look on the landscape and sort of see what's going on, I see a lot of consolidation coming.
Yeah. That's a really interesting perspective, and I think that is the challenge from being in an advisor seat to also being on the technology side as well, is that a lot of the technologies are just yet another login, another platform, another thing that you have to worry about. That is a desired silver bullet for the advisor, but actually is a hamper or hindrance to their ability to better serve their clients because it's not fully integrated. Nobody's taken a look at the processes of an advisor, the integrations that are needed, the core technologies they use, and then how do you bring them together to actually create an efficiency as opposed to here's just another tool, right? Here's another tool that you can use.